Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 64 of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. And there's a lot to catch up on, but the main thing we need to do first of all is go and have a look at this year's Champions League group stage draw. So let's go do that now. And here it is, it's the Champions League draw. We are seeded fourth yet again in that fourth grouping. I would have hoped we maybe would have ducked into the third pot by now. Where are we? We're just short, aren't we? 36 coefficient points. Sevilla's down there with us, 41 we need. So if we have a relatively successful Champions League campaign this time, if we get out of the group again, for example, I hope we go a little bit further than that maybe. But then we should start pushing up into the second and third seeding groups. But, we're relatively new, aren't we? So, yeah, this is where we're at. All right, let's get the first seeds out of the way. Porto's the top seed. That's the one you want, isn't it, so far? Porto is definitely the one you want. Second seed, I'd like if Paris could maybe get Liverpool. Maybe an England team could take Barcelona for us as well. We beat Bayern Munich last year, so there's nothing... Oh, Juventus, Paris, that's going to be our group, isn't it? That's almost certainly going to be our group. Arsenal's taken Real Madrid, Manchester United's taken Bayern. Alright, let's get this third group done. Celtic, that is a little bit softer perhaps, that group now with them in there. This is the one, isn't it? Porto, we had Lyon last year and they're tough. Ajax isn't the worst. Yeah, alright, so this is it. So what group do we want? We can't get Group B, which, Milan and Young Boys would be decent, wouldn't it? Group C may not be the worst. Barcelona's tough. Inter is about as good as you can get, isn't it? And Basel you would fancy us against. Group D, I think, is looking the dream. Group E wouldn't be the worst either. We had a tough time against Benfica last year, but, the French champions aren't the worst, are they? We can't get Group F. We can't get Group G. Group H would be tricky, but manageable, perhaps. Let's see. Let's see who we get here. It's probably going to be Group A, isn't it? It's not Group A. All right, we've avoided that. We can't get Group B. Group C is doable. We got Group C. All right. You'd love Group D, wouldn't you? The group of life. The easier ones didn't get any more difficult, did they? That's for sure. Sevilla and then Rangers goes in that last group there. Barcelona, Inter Milan, and Basel. You'd fancy us to beat Basel, to be honest. So we should, at worst, I would imagine, get Europa League out of this. Barcelona's going to be fun. And Inter Milan, you'd imagine it's going to be between us and them for that, isn't it? So anyway, guys, that's our group. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get on with the rest of the episode. So there we have it. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. Inter's going to be... I think it'll be us and Inter, won't it? Battling it out for second spot. We're going to get that group stage underway today against FC Basel. We're away from home. This is actually an important game because we really do need to win that, I think. If we are going to progress, because you would imagine, hopefully anyway, that Basel or Basel will be the group stage whipping boys. After that, we're going to play Manchester City. We have our draw for the EFL Cup third round as well. It's against West Brom, so a local derby for the kids to tackle there. Now, the big question with Barcelona is Messi, isn't it? Is there a Messi? There is a Messi. I did check that. Where is he here? Messi. Can I... There he is, Messi. He is not the physical specimen he once was, but look at that. You just stand him still and let him direct the game around him. 800 grand a week he's on, which seems excessive, to be honest. His contract's up at the end of this year, so do we have a sneaky bid for Messi? He's only valued at 5. He probably makes more money in a month than he's valued at. Anyway, so that's Messi. We are going to have to deal with him, but... How many 20s can one player have that's not made up? Anyway. Let's have a quick look at how things have gotten on since last episode. Well, we got the season underway with a really good performance against Crystal Palace and a really good first half against Wolves, and we won't talk about the second half. Then we went and played Brighton. Now, we controlled this game. We dominated it, in fact. Rashid got his first goal for the club from a corner, I think it was. I was trying to check my notes, see if I remember. So it was really, really good. And the main thing, I was completely convinced that Borja was going to score against us. He didn't. So it just goes to show that he is indeed a rubbish striker who can no longer score goals. That makes it sound like we're a terrible defensive team, doesn't it? Then we played Huddersfield away from home. 3-1 this one. Now, an early red card undoubtedly helped us here. 20 minutes, Shelby was gone for two bookings. Rodrigo with a hat-trick. They got one back through Mkhitaryan. I think if I remember correctly, it was a counter-attacking goal. But yeah, you can see Rodrigo is an absolute beast, as he has been. 5 goals already in the league this season. Then we played Leicester City at home. And this was an even game that I think a player rating show that we just about shaded and just about deserved to win. Rashid again popping up with the goal, played quite well, got man of the match. He is looking every bit as better than Markovic, to be honest. I do think I made the right decision in getting rid of Markovic to play this guy. I kind of knew that. It's just that Markovic was playing really well, so I was a little bit hesitant whether or not we should get rid of him. Then we played Everton. Now in this one, I'm just trying to read my notes here as I go. We defended really, really well, and we actually controlled the game. The match stats here are quite misleading, I think. I certainly didn't feel like that sort of game. You can see from the player ratings that we were the better team. It was Thiago Almeida with a penalty and Rabi Al-Sudanese, one of the kid that got the goals for us. Yeah, as I said, I don't really understand where the match stats came from because, as you can see, it certainly didn't feel like that sort of a game. Gaz Mosley played well, as did the defence. I mean, you have to, I guess, when you've got that many shots coming at you. But it always felt like, as I said, we had an element of control over the game. So we have a look at what that all means for the league table. We are sitting top. We are undefeated. If we hadn't dropped those stupid points to Wolves, we would be top and undefeated, or unbeaten, or whatever the term is for perfect. Perfect, that's what we would be. That's the word, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, we've had a relatively soft start to the season. Leicester and Everton were tougher games, but certainly I would want to be sitting up around this part of the table given that start. Because if you look at our upcoming fixtures here, we have in the league Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and then I think we have another one, Tottenham as well, all coming up. But the next month or so, it is both Manchester clubs, Liverpool and Arsenal. So that is, needless to say, difficult with Champions League fixtures thrown in there as well. So yeah, well, we're seeing a lot of the channel, a lot of this schedule in the next few days here. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on with the game against Basel. And this is the team that we're sending out with half an eye, of course, on the Manchester City game as well. But Gaz Mosley continues in goal. Nepo, Rodrigo, Holgate and Bree as a back four. Tonali and Silla in midfield. Rashid and Green go down the wings with Almeida in behind. Free scoring Rodrigo. 5 goals already this year for him. Alright, so we can see the way they're lining up. We didn't really get too much information on the scouts prior to this game, so it's good to see that, well, at least we know how they're playing now. We should be able to overload them in wide areas, I would hope, anyway, if they just have the 2 wing-backs there. What do we say to this? We should be winning this fairly comfortably. Alright, let's go with that. We should be winning this one fairly comfortably, but you don't want to get complacent here, do we? Alright, then here we go. For the first time this year, we hear the Champions League anthem, and hopefully it'll be a successful season for us. I mean, so this is a good opportunity with these games coming up. As I said, it's a really, really tough run of fixtures, but it will give us actually a good idea of how good our squad is for this year. But, who we can rely on to come in and do a job for us when we need to. Couple of things to catch you up on. Will Williamson, our young 16, 17-year-old striking wonder kid. We sent him out on loan to Bradford. They're in the Championship, so he'll play for them this year, hopefully, and come back a better player for it. Brian Carlos, he's got injured playing for England under 21, so he's unavailable for this episode. It's a good ball out there for Nepo. Nepo crosses it in. It's going to be another goal for Rashid. 3 goals this year for the winger. He's every bit as good as Markovic, if not better. On-field performance, not just an attribute. So that is a really, really good start. We did overload them down wide areas. Green did really well there. Sucked in 2 players. Nepo got forward, crossed into the back post. Keeper has questions to answer, but Rashid with a 3rd goal. He's keeping track with Rodrigo at these early stages of the season. Good cross from Nepo too, wasn't it? Let's give him a little bit of credit there. Let's demand more, and let's go on and run up a score here if we can. Goal difference could be important, though I think head-to-head will be the first tiebreaker, won't it? So, it's not as important as it might be in a proper league system. Oh, that looked like a bit of a lungy 2-footer there on Rodrigo. How dare you, to the Royal Brazilian. That's a flick on. That should be easy. Defender Rodrigo. 2 Rodrigos is a little much, isn't it? Let's not lose that. Goes forward for Andre Green. And we're giving Green a game basically because he wants football, and I think we need to keep another cracking run forward from Rodrigo. Oh, it is Rodrigo. Nepo with the run forward. I was preemptively calling the goal there with Rodrigo. A tap in, but Nepo is absolutely destroying them down that left-hand side. 2 assists already in 20 minutes of football. Again, we're just overloading them in wide areas. Absolutely. I mean, it was a bit of a slam dunk, wasn't it? When you see the way they're lining up compared to how we're lining up, that was always going to be their weakness. But yeah, we're actually taking advantage of it. We're killing them off. What's what I'm looking for here? Anyway, we're playing well. We're playing well. 2-0, excellent stuff. I haven't seen a score come through from the other game. Obviously, draws in the other games would be good for us. If they can both drop points, that would be excellent. We do play Inter next in the group, so that if someone has to win, maybe you'd rather Barcelona. Oh, Brie, almost a worldie. Speaking of worldies, there will be a goals of the month at the end of this episode for the first month. So not goals from the Everton and Leicester games, but from the other ones. So make sure you stick around for that after the Manchester City game. I think with Manchester City, we're going to go a little bit. We're going to play a DM. We won't play Almeida in that one. Just try and be a little bit more cautious against the better teams. What do we say to this? This is maybe one don't get complacent, because actual match ratings here aren't too bad. Andre Green, could he do more? Possibly. We do have on the bench Pedro, the young wonder kid. We have Paul Walker on the bench as well, actually. We might even look to bring him on if this half gets off to a decent enough start. What I don't want to do is give them a way back in. 2-0, it's a weird scoreline, isn't it? Because it should be comfortable, but if they get one back, then it becomes very, very nervy again. So we'll just kind of see how this starts here. We're playing well. There's no reason to... There's been nothing to suggest they would come back into this, but we thought that against Wolves too, didn't we? So we're just going to be a little bit... Although I don't think this team has the players that Wolves have. Tonali plays it back nicely. Tonali's after more first-team football, so we are going to have to offer it to him. Otherwise, we will lose him. That's a good header down. Rodrigo! Oh, that's 3. Rashid! He's a target man. He's a striker. He's a winger. He's everything. What a game he's having. The first assist for Rashid. A second goal for Rodrigo. And that now is surely game done and dusted. I'll give him some more praise. Look at that towering header. Rodrigo, one touch into the back of the net. 7 goals already this year for Rodrigo. Could he get 50? Could he get 50? It's unlikely, but you never know. We do have a world star in our hands with him, don't we? It's a really, really good striking option. All right, let's maybe look at resting players here ahead of Manchester City. Let's give Paul Walker a game for Rashid. And let's give... Do we give Pedro a game? We'll give Andre Green a little bit longer. And I wouldn't mind bringing the lab on for Rodrigo, but we'll give him a chance here to get his hat-trick. Maybe a few more minutes here. Let's win that, please. Tonali does just that. Can we win the second ball? No. Still bouncing around in dangerous areas here for us. Shot comes in, and it's a good one. Guys can't quite claw that one back, and that is 3-1. I'm wondering if that last shot maybe should have been a demand more. I think we don't keep many clean sheets when we're playing well, and I'm starting to think I get maybe a little bit happy on the praise shouts, and maybe every now and again I should do praise, demand more, just to make sure we don't start resting on laurels, because we have a habit of letting teams back in with games with their goals like that. All right, we will now take off Rodrigo. He's had an easy day at the office, hasn't he? Barely raised a sweat. And the other change we will make here is... No, we'll keep Pedro fresh in case we need him. Let's go Alina for Silla. There we go. And now it should just be a simple case of seeing this out here. Corner comes in. Almeida. It's in there. Oh, it's just over the bar from... I didn't see who that was. Could have been Holgate. I didn't quite catch who it was. Let's give it a demand more here with the new players on the field. I really would not like a goal to go in here because... easy for Gaz. Gaz plucks it like he's picking an apple. Yeah, 3-2 just starts to look a little bit closer. It is the Wolves game all over again, isn't it? We've dominated this game. It shouldn't even be close. Andre Green goes on a run. Oh, second time of asking. Can't quite get past the defender. And the highlight is going to continue. One other piece of news from in between. It's actually 2 other pieces of news. James Bree. Oh, win that. James Bree got his first England cap. So our backup right back is now an England international, so that's not going to cause problems. Oh, it's a penalty. Have they changed formation here? I'm wondering. Come on, Gaz. Let's get the save here, mate. Let's get the save. Come on. Too easy for Gaz. What a save. It's straight at him, to be fair. That will hopefully now kill off any spirit that they have left. If we can go down the other end, no, we can't. Now, they have changed? No, they haven't changed formation. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, James Bree's an England international, so that's going to cause problems now because he's going to want to play more football. And we have, of course, Kostic in the team, who is very much our number one. And we do have a new link up as well, a new affiliate club, Suwon of South Korea. It's a what's the word? Like a youngster thing, so that we can try and get some young South Koreans come through our academy. So hopefully that'll pay well for us in future. But yeah, got that link up as well. Excellent stuff there. 3-1. I mean, it could easily have been 3-2, and that would have made it look a lot closer than it was. I'm going to say we got away with one there because we were quite poor that second half. Nepo was amazing. The guys on the bench that we took off, they were amazing. I mean, that did kind of... I'm pleased with your performance tonight. Yeah, let's go with that. That did kind of change the game, didn't it, when we weakened the team a little bit. But we got the win. So no need to be too negative about it all. The other game isn't taking... Well, AC Milan was playing at home, so that'll take place tomorrow, game time on the Wednesday. Anyway, guys, wait right there. We'll be back. It's Manchester City in the league. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is time for Manchester City away. They are favourites for this game. They got off to a bit of a scratchy start. You can see they're sitting down there in 10th. They were one of the later games this weekend, so game in hand there. But that's not been too bad for us because Liverpool have lost, Manchester United have lost, Arsenal beat Manchester United. So to keep track of them, we need to win. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. Away from home, a draw would be decent enough, I think. This is the team we're going with. I was tempted to ditch the wingers and go two up top, but Maran and Rashid, they're probably two of our better players, so I do want to get them on the field if we can. So Mosley goes in goal. Darley, Chambers, Holgate and Kostic as a back four. AR comes in to shield them behind McGinn and Grealish. As I said, Rashid and Maran and Rodrigo, almost a holy trinity developing there, isn't it? Early days, I know, to be declaring a holy trinity, but potentially those three could be absolutely massive for us. So we'll just see how we go here. A little bit of passion, pick up where they left off. What do you want to say here? Do we want to say do it for the media? I don't think we do it. That's all right. Keep our run going. Come on, boys. We are on a good run in the league. I mean, let's be honest. The drop points against Wolves are annoying. Really, really annoying. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's that if it wasn't Wolves, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, would it? I mean, it would be. It'd be annoying, but it wouldn't be as annoying, I guess. All right, let's see what we can do here. Now Luis Enrique is the Manchester City manager, but they're still a passing team. That all sort of stays the same. I think Enrique just sort of follows Guardiola around, doesn't he? Picking up his job. Certainly what happened at Barcelona. We've dropped down to third. Obviously, I'm not quite sure why, because we're the only game that's kicking off right now. But let's not worry about that. We are being more compact with sort of tighter lines between attack and defence, just to try and make it a little bit more difficult for them to pass through us. Hopefully that'll work. In the context of the season, a point here isn't the worst, is it? So we'll just kind of see how we do it. It's that run of games we have coming up that really worries me. Now, in our other Champions League group game, Inter actually beat Barcelona. It was in Milan, so that maybe helps a little bit. But I think that's a bad result for us, because you would assume... Come on, Mosley. Oh, what a miss that is. It's a free kick. That's why we would have got it otherwise. I mean, that's potentially a difficult result for us, though, because I would imagine... that was a horrible half of football, wasn't it? I would imagine that... I'm going to say I'm not happy. The Barcelona would be the strongest team in the group. Maybe it's, the game's moved on a little bit now. Where, what are we in, 2023 or 2024 or something? So, we've moved on a little bit. It could well be that, maybe Barcelona aren't the team that we sort of imagine they are. I mean, even in real life, Barcelona aren't the team we imagine they are. They're still a really, really good team, but they're not, the Barcelona of 5-6 years ago. All right, come on, boys. Let's see what we can do here. This looks like it might be an actual highlight. We haven't really seen one of these yet. McGinn out for Kostic. Rashid, make a run, mate. He's just kind of standing in his way. Kostic, can he do? Kostic gets a cracking ball. It is Maran! Antonio Maran. What a ball from Kostic. I thought he was trying to get Rashid out of the way. So he could get his cross in. Rashid, it's like watching NFL. Really, really good screening job on Kostic to prevent the cross coming in. But when eventually he did get just the Manchester... Oh, what a little chip back there. And Maran ducking in from the far post across his defender. And that is 1-0 to Villa. Third goal of the year for Antonio Maran. How close was the offside? It was not that close. I mean, it was close-ish, but it was fine. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Let's give it a demand more here. Rodrigo isn't having his best game. I do sometimes think the lone striker needs to not be playing as the advanced forward, and that really is the only way that Rodrigo can play. So what we might do is we might bring Bothheim on for him, and we'll play Bothheim as a deep lying forward. Let him kind of drop back in a little bit. We'll keep him on attack. Just link up the plate. I think I've been a little bit harsh on Rodrigo, asking him to play in that position, because it's not naturally how he plays. What do we say here? Let's demand more. Or are we going to go and get a crack? Let's not count chickens yet. Grealish corner comes in. It's hacked clear. Absolutely hacked clear. And if this is how we can see the goal to Manchester City, I will be very, very annoyed indeed. Come on, boys. It's back post. Mosley! Oh! I'm not quite sure how he's done it, but Mosley has the ball in his hands. Alright, let's... Rashid isn't having his greatest game. We have Nicky Roberts on the bench. Let's bring him on. Is there anything else we want to do here? I'm wondering about Elena as an option to come on, hold the ball instead of McGinn, perhaps. Let's start and close this down anyway. Play for set pieces. Slow it all down. Slow that down as well. That's all fine. Yeah, let's bring on a bit of a time waster. Elena for McGinn. I am beginning to think that we have just perhaps outgrown John McGinn. Sacrilege, I know, but it's really difficult to separate the player in real life, I find anyway, to the player on Football Manager. And McGinn is one of my favourite Villa players, but I just think Football Manager McGinn is not maybe Champions League quality. That doesn't sound right. As I say it, it doesn't sound right. But I just wonder if that's the case. Now, this is a little bit dangerous here. Let's get in front of that. Oh! It's okay. It's okay, everybody. Breathe. We've come back very quickly here. Marin's turned into a little bit of space in for Grealish. It's really tight in there, isn't it? That's what she said. Well, he said. That doesn't make sense. Come on, Marin. Oh, it's out for Aya. Keep it going. Oh, what are we doing? We didn't need to do that. We've got to block in. Well done, Kosic. And he retrieves the ball as well. Now, let's just calm down, boys. Calm down. That's it. Just play it into each other's feet. Come back. You can go, but you don't have to play it forward. You can play sideways and backwards balls. Can we win that ball? Aya's there. He's an absolute beast, is he, Christoph Aya? Chambers. This is beginning to look like it could be an end-of-game highlight. 10 seconds to go. This would be an absolutely massive 3 points if we hang on to it. I mean, even at this point, the worst we're going to get is a draw. We've got the win, though. That's a massive 3 points. Is this the year we go on and win the Premier League? That is a bit of an FM to be... Oh, they only had 2 shots on target, so it's not... It wasn't a classic, was it? It wasn't a great game, but I don't care if it wasn't a great game because we got the win. Lucky Aston Villa celebrate unlikely victory. I'd say lucky. I don't think it was necessarily unlikely. We are a good team game. Come on. So quick glance at the league table, and that is how we like to start our Monday off, isn't it? Top of the table. We are losing a little bit of touch with Arsenal on goal difference, but it's early days. I mean, the table doesn't even really matter, but... You wouldn't imagine Stoke can keep this going, so that we have already a 6-point gap back to Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United. That is really, really good stuff, and you can see the Champions League table there as well. So that's all for today, though, guys. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and welcome to the channel. Ring the bell so you know when I upload new episodes, and we will be back on Wednesday it's the EFL Cup Final. We always play the youngsters in this, named after you guys, so that will be interesting. At home to another Premier League team and another rival as well. If you do want to have one of the Academy products named after you, just let me know in the comments. And if there's a position preference that you have, and I can look to get that done for you. And we'll also play Manchester United away from home. Can we go to Manchester back-to-back weekends and come back with 6 points? We'll find out Wednesday, guys. I've been Aussie. Thank you so much for watching, and here are our goals of the month for August. Take care.